The guy from the mental health service left. Apparently, he's my support worker. I didn't know I had one, but apparently I have for the moment anyway. Um, he opened the letter for me, and I have an assessment on the 19th of July. I asked for a home visit, for a home assessment, and I have to go all the way to Westcliff from Grays, where I live, which is, according to the AA route planner, 24.1 miles away. Of course, I have to go by public transport, which is difficult for me, and will mean a 53-minute train journey from my station to Southend. I then have to get a bus. That's 53 minutes, and then I have to get a bus. So I will have to wait around for God knows how long for a bus to get to the actual assessment place. And I will have to leave at 8:19 in the morning, which means it's going to be during the time when it's most expensive to travel on the train, and my disabled bus pass won't be effective because it doesn't start within my borough. I can it starts at 9 o'clock, but outside the borough it's the usual 9:30 start, and to be there on time, to make sure I'm there, I'm going to have to pay for the bus as well. And if it works the same way as the last time, they will not refund the money, despite the fact that the form was filled in and sent to them. So that was for my PIP assessment. So there's that. And I have no one to go with me, which makes it even more stressful, which is why I asked for a home visit. Because although my ex-wife will probably drop everything she's doing as she did last time, I can't ask her to this time, because she will have to take a day off work unpaid, and she's already very low paid. She is struggling, and she's on working tax credits. She was getting £25 a month, and now she's only getting £9 because of the cuts. So you can imagine how I'm feeling at the moment. The guy, the support worker, did phone up the DWP, and they said that I may not have to go on this. They did contact my GP to try and get a thing called a 113 form filled in, which may they sent it on the 5th of June, and if they'd got it back, they may be able to assess me on that without me having to go anywhere. But my GP hasn't done anything with it. So he phoned my GP, and the form is there. They just haven't bothered filling it in. So that's brilliant, isn't it? I know GPs are normally busy, but my GP doesn't seem to have a very full waiting room whenever I go in there. So I don't know where the time is being spent. It certainly isn't with catching up with paperwork. So there's the possibility I may not have to go, but there's a possibility that I will have to. And then if they don't get the thing from the GP by next week, next Tuesday, and I've got to phone the GP to confirm whether the DWP DWP have got it. Then I've got to phone the DWP to see if I need to go. And if they still insist on me going, I've got to try and get a letter from my psychiatrist to see if he can convince them to have to do a home assessment rather than me having to go, because I will not be able to get anyone to go with me. And sorry about this. So I'll have to contact him, and then the letter has to get to, it has to be faxed through to them before 6 days before the assessment date. So there's still a possibility I may get a home assessment, or I may not have to have an assessment at all, but there's also the possibility that all of this will go to shit and I will have to go to an assessment, which I cannot go without someone to go with me, and yet I've got no one to go with me. So this is real fun time for me. I'm scared as shit. I am. I'm just scared. And I know there are people worse off than me. So for anyone who's saying, "Oh, what a poor person," blah blah, don't worry about me, because in trying to do something nice, I threw myself under the bus years ago. Everything bad that's happened to me, I seem to have brought on myself by trying to do good. So don't worry about me. I'm as I keep saying to people, I'm the cosmic whipping boy. So don't worry about me, but worry about the people who are less resilient than me. Because quite frankly, I'm suicidal at the best of times. So if I die because of all this shit, it would just be a blessed release. But there are some people out there who would quite like to live a good life. And see, I don't even know where my head is at the moment. And as you can see, I don't edit any of these things because I want the truth to come out. I said in my last video I have no friends, and that is true. I have people I know, but I define friend as someone you can turn to when you need them the most, and who won't judge you. I mean, you may disagree, you may have stand-up rows, you don't have to agree on everything to be a friend, but you should allow someone to be able to express themselves in the way that they need to express themselves. And I haven't got anyone who will allow me to express myself. I have to walk on eggshells around them, and that isn't a friend if you have to walk on eggshells around someone. And so I've got no one to turn to. I've got my ex-wife, but I don't want to be a burden on her anymore. She is an angel, she really is. She helped me with my PIP assessment, but I shouldn't have to keep having to rely on her. And although I have a support worker, and I am really glad for him. He's due to become a father next week. So next week he is going to be going on paternity leave. So there's a good chance that even he won't be able to go with me on my assessment if I have to go. Or even if I have a home assessment, I'd rather have someone with me. And he can't guarantee to be with me, and I wouldn't ask him to. I wouldn't ask him, as someone who wanted kids and has been cruelly fated not to have any. I wouldn't want him to lose any time with his newborn child. So, unlike my PIP assessment, and this is arguably more important because it's my main source of income, the ESA, I have to face this alone. Because I don't want to be a burden on my wife. I will ask her, and she will probably say she will. But she can't guarantee that she will get paid, get a paid day off. And I can't ask her to take one unpaid because I can't give her the money back. And it will also mean I'll have to pay for 2 rush hour fares, return fares, from Grays to Southend Central Station, and then 2 bus fares to and from the assessment centre. And I can't afford that either. And she can't afford it. I may be able to afford one because I haven't been eating that much lately. Dinners wise, I haven't been eating. I've been drinking more because of the hot weather, but not eating as much. And so I could probably, I could probably go by myself. But as I have to leave, whenever I leave the flat, I have to have my MP3 player playing at full volume just to leave the flat. I feel physically ill when I'm around people. I retch before I go out. Making this trip to the assessment centre is going to be a nightmare. And I don't know whether the letter from the GP or the letter from my psychiatrist would persuade them to let me have a home assessment. At least they'd be able to see how I live and how my mental health affects me, because my flat is a living embodiment of my condition. I just don't know. And I don't want to depress you anymore, so I'll sign off now. But like I said before, don't really bother about me. These videos are just me documenting the truth of what goes on for people with mental health problems, and that the wider disabled community. I don't want sympathy for myself. I want sympathy for them, some empathy for them, because when I outed myself as a depressive with suicidal tendencies in 2009, trying to dispel the stigma around having such bad depression, I screwed myself. I outed myself. It got onto YouTube anyway. And employers don't want to know me. So I just went all out after that, being completely honest about everything, which is why I do these videos. I'm trying to be completely honest about what I'm going through so that hopefully people who don't know what's going on will somehow find it, because it's been passed on, although admittedly the person who passes this on most is me. And I don't think I'm reaching the amount of people I need to. And between getting the letter this morning and the support worker coming, I saw, you know, just so I had something to do, I saw something that should give hope. It was Jeremy Corbyn's full speech at Glastonbury, and it made me cry, because I could see the potential for hope, but then realised that in my life at least, hope has never materialised any positive outcomes. I've always tried to go into things with hope, and I've always been sadly disappointed. And even stuff that should give me hope makes me more ill. It exacerbates my depression, makes me feel worse, because I know that there is this beacon of hope, but the reality is I don't think we're ever going to see it, because this is such a sick society. In a way, me going to this assessment, if I have to go at all, going alone is probably quite apt, because quite frankly, apart from when I was married, my entire life I've been alone. I haven't been able to rely on anybody else but me. And you know, it's always been said that we are born alone and we all die alone. In my case, I've had to live alone for most of my life as well, so if suddenly there is no more videos, you'll probably know what's happened, because I just don't know how much fight I have left in me. Anyway, I don't want to depress you. I've probably well depressed you now. But if you do give a toss about people with mental health problems, or any sort of disability or sickness or impairment that means they're on benefits and that have to go through this, if you have any ounce of empathy or sympathy for us, please share this video so other people know that it's going on. Thank you.